Hello, this is David from Chasing the Light. Nehemiah chapter 13 verse 19 is one of many verses people interpret wrong.
And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
This causes many to err on what time we worship on the Sabbath. Some say evening, some say at dawn. If we go back 6 chapters, the answer will be revealed. So let's find out what is the correct time. Nehemiah chapter 7 verse 1 through 3 reads,
Chapter 7. Now it came to pass, when the wall was built, and I had set up the doors, and the porters, and the singers, and the Levites were appointed, that I gave my brother Hanani, and Hananiah the ruler of the palace, charge over Jerusalem, for he was a faithful man, and feared God above many. And I said unto them, Let not the gates of Jerusalem be opened until the sun be hot. And while they stand by, let them shut the doors and bar them, and appoint watches of the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
You see that Nehemiah gave Hanani and Hananiah charge over Jerusalem, and told them not to open the gates until the sun be hot. The word "the sun be hot" is a clue to understanding this verse. Is there any other place in Scripture that can help us? The answer is yes. 1 Samuel 11 and verses 9 through 11 define what "the sun be hot" means.
And they said unto the messengers that came, Thus shall ye say unto the men of Jabesh Gilead, Tomorrow by that time the sun be hot, ye shall have help. And the messengers came and showed it to the men of Jabesh, and they were glad. And it was so on the morrow that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and slew the Ammonites until the heat of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered, so that 2 of them were not left together.
As you can see in verse 9, that they will have help when the sun is hot. And in verse 11 they came there in the morning and slew the Ammonites, verifying that he helped the men of Jabesh Gilead in the morning. In conclusion, the sun be hot, in Nehemiah 7 and verse 3 means morning. Now, if we go back to Nehemiah 13 and verse 19 through 21, we can get a clearer picture of what's going on.
And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
If we look at Nehemiah 13:9 closely, when he says I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. The word command and charge is the same Hebrew word. Hebrew Strong's 559. Amar, which means, to say, speak, utter, or command. Why didn't the translators use the same word, is what we need to be asking. Nehemiah gave them a command, then another command, because normally the gates would be open in the morning, but this time he said let them stay closed so the sellers would not enter on the morning of the Sabbath.
So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them and said unto them, Why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you. From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath.
The word, without, in Nehemiah 13 and verse 20, is Strong's H2351, chutz. It means outside, outward, and street. If the merchants are lodging outside the wall, then they are waiting till morning. Nehemiah told them to keep the gates close on the Sabbath. But, in Nehemiah 7 verse 2 he said open the gates, when the sun is hot. Secondly, we know that the gates closes every day, when it begins to grow dark. So, the watchers can do their duties, then you read that the merchants, sellers lodge outside of Jerusalem. Because, they was waiting for the gates to open in the morning. But, the Sabbath morning Nehemiah gave charge to stay shut, so they can't come in like the other work days, because it was the Sabbath. In conclusion, a lot of people use this verse to confirm an evening Sabbath, but with a close investigation, it does not confirm an evening Sabbath. What it does show is the gates were closed after the going down of the sun, like they always do. And Nehemiah gave a command, not to open the gates on the morning of the Sabbath. This is David, from Chasing the Light, and I hope this helped. See you again real soon. Shalom.